Dive into the raw emotion of Elvis Presley's File Studio Triumphs, a collection that captures heartbreak, triumph, and the King's unfiltered spirit, leaving me wondering if his legacy truly peaked or evolved in unexpected ways. But here's where it gets intriguing. Could these sessions have redefined Elvis if RCA hadn't scattered them across albums? Imagine it's late March 1972. And Elvis Presley strides into RCA's iconic Studio C on Hollywood's Sunset Boulevard for the very first time. This isn't just any recording spot. It's the legendary venue where stars like Jefferson Airplane and Henry Mancini had already left their mark since it opened in 1964. Elvis had rehearsed for his Las Vegas shows in the compact 32 by 22-foot room, the tiniest of the three studios. But now, from March 27th to 30th, he's diving into his inaugural proper recording sessions with his touring band. James Burton handling lead guitar, John Wilkinson on rhythm, Charlie Hodge on acoustic, Ronnie Tutt on drums, Glenn D. Hardin at the piano, Emery Gordy filling in on bass for Jerry Sheff, plus J.D. Sumner and the Stamps Quartet. The results? Absolute classics like Burning Love and Always on My Mind that still ignite listeners today. Fast forward, and these gems, along with Elvis's 1975 return for the Today album, anchor the heart of Sunset Boulevard, a 5-CD box set from Legacy Recordings. This is the latest in their location-based series, following Nashville-focused releases like From Elvis in Nashville, exploring his 1970 marathon sessions, and Back in Nashville, a holiday-worthy dive into his roots, plus the Memphis-centric Elvis Memphis. Here, new mixes of the 1972 and 1975 masters shine, complemented by outtakes and 3 discs of raw rehearsals from 1970 and 1974. There's even a streamlined 2 LP highlights edition for those who want the essentials without the deep dive. Liner notes by Colin Escott touch on Elvis's deep personal connection to Separate Ways from that 1972 debut session, written by Red West and Richard Mangra. The song's lyrics were adjusted to mirror Elvis's recent split from Priscilla Presley at the year's start. Friend Jerry Schilling recalled it hitting hard. Elvis played the tape on repeat for hours in the studio, shaking his head and asking, "You guys want to hear it again?" It was a somber period, reflecting his life's turmoil, and he poured that emotion into his performances, even as hit material felt scarce. And this is the part most people miss. What if these tracks had been released as a cohesive album instead of being spread out? Most songs from those March nights could have woven a compelling narrative around isolation, parting, and sorrow, much like a concept album. But RCA's habit was to distribute them piecemeal, which makes hearing them sequentially in this set a real revelation. Producer Matt Ross-Spang's fresh mixes are crisp, with clear stereo separation. He peels back layers to focus on Elvis's voice and the core rhythm section, delivering a sound that's revitalized yet true to the era. The Stamps' backing vocals, while fantastic, do retain a vintage feel that some might say dates the tracks. Elvis poured his soul into these heartache anthems, from the Paul Williams gem, Where Do I Go From Here? A hidden treasure of introspection, to Chris Christopherson's gentle For the Good Times, and the soon-to-be standard Always on My Mind by Wayne Carson, Johnny Christopher, and Mark James. Yet the chart-topping standout was far from mournful. Dennis Linda's fiery, burning love. Elvis hesitated at first, but producer Felton Jarvis insisted, and boy, was he right. Elvis channeled pure exhilaration into this up-tempo rocker with hooks that sent temperatures soaring. It reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 10 on the country chart, earned 2 times platinum status, and became Elvis's last top 10 smash. For beginners discovering Elvis, this track exemplifies his ability to blend rock energy with undeniable charisma. Think of it as a bridge from his early hits to his Vegas swagger. The set's first disc shifts to Ross-Spang's remixes of the 1975 Today sessions, with Duke Bardwell on bass, David Briggs on clavinet, and Tony Brown on piano. While not as emotionally charged, they offer solid material, including Elvis's tender take on Don McLean's And I Love You So, a country-infused version of the Pointer Sisters' fairy tale that he nailed with authenticity, and a cover of Green, Green Grass of Home that's been sung by countless artists. Disc 2 features new mixes of alternates from both years, previously out on Follow That Dream releases, but Ross-Spang's tweaks are fresh. Here's a controversial twist. Does remixing classics like these honor the original intent, or does it risk altering the magic that made them timeless? Take the third and fourth takes of Burning Love. They highlight Emery Gordy's bass, the guitars, and even the vocal harmonies, with the familiar call-in response absent but Elvis's comfort evident. Occasional hesitations show a more vulnerable side, yet his delivery remains powerful. False starts and banter, like the "goddammit" outburst on It's a Matter of Time, add charm, and a playful fairy tale run-through is a delight. Mike Piacentini's mastering elevates it all. Discs 3, 4, and 5 spotlight rehearsals for Las Vegas Hilton shows from July 24, 1970 and August 16, 1974. These are unpolished, unreleased treasures, fly-on-the-wall glimpses of Elvis experimenting, sometimes softly singing new tunes like Softly As I Leave You or The 12th of Never, backed by his intuitive crew led by Ron Tutt's driving drums. Songs like I Just Can't Help Believin' and Bridge Over Troubled Water carry raw power. Mixed by Vic Anacini for Follow That Dream, these are retained here. Packaging echoes prior legacy Elvis sets, like Aloha from Hawaii via satellite, Elvis on Tour, Live 1969, 68 Comeback Special, The Searcher, and Prince from Another Planet. An 8x8-inch slipcase with a 28-page book of Escott's insightful notes, photos, and memorabilia. Discs mimic RCA orange labels in wallet-style sleeves with tape box replicas. These 1975 recordings marked Elvis's last in a traditional studio. Future ones came via RCA's mobile unit at Braceland's Jungle Room. Sunset Boulevard reappraises his later work, blending hits with hidden gems. Grab it now via the links. As an Amazon affiliate, we earn from purchases. 5 CD, Amazon US, www.amazon.com, DPB0FC53R, Amazon UK, www.amazon.com, DPB0FC53R, Amazon Canada, Amazon US, Amazon UK. Available. B0FC53R, Amazon UK. 2LP highlights. /www.amazon.com, DPB0FC53R, Amazon UK. Amazon Canada, Amazon.ca, DPB0FC53R. Joe Marchese, editor, has been with the second disc since its 2010 launch, delivering daily updates on classic music across genres. In 2015, he launched Second Disc Records, celebrating American songcraft through curated releases with partners like Real Gone Music and Cherry Red. Artists include Dionne Warwick, Diana Ross and the Supremes, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, The Spinners, Johnny Mathis, Bobby Darin, Meatloaf, Laura Nyro, Melissa Manchester, Liza Minnelli, Darlene Love, Al Stewart, Michael Nesmith, and more. Joe has authored liner notes or produced over 200 reissues for acts like America, J.D. Souther, Nat King Cole, Paul Williams, Leslie Gore, Dusty Springfield, B.J. Thomas, The Fifth Dimension, Burt Bacharach, The Mamas and the Papas. Carpenters, Perry Como, Rod McEwen, Doris Day, Jackie DeShannon, Petula Clark, Robert Goulet, and Andy Williams. Beyond music, he's contributed to Broadway and top U.S. theaters like Lincoln Center, alongside legends such as Jack Klugman, Eli Wallach, Arthur Lawrence, Betty Comden, and Adolph Green. Since 2009, he's reviewed for the Sondheim Review, and since 2012 for the Digital Bits on film and TV. He lives in New York suburbs. What do you think? Should RCA have released these 1972 tracks as a unified album to honor Elvis's emotional journey? Or do you prefer the remixes for their modern clarity? Agree or disagree in the comments, and let's discuss.